All right, excellent. All right. To recap last session, you all had arrived at the trading or the small fort of Balin Post, and you met a couple of people there. You met Carl outside. Kind of got some information and then the barracks tap room opened for the evening, and business started to get conducted here, and you kind of got a see of how Balin Post operates. Like Serenlia, Balin Post makes its living off of exploring Islecross. But they got a little bit of a different system here, as you found out. Like behind Orswell here, who's the little gnome, who was collecting things as being brought in. They seem to have some kind of a point system going on with a board behind them where names of people are put on slats, and depending on what they've recovered in Islecross, their ranking will bump up and down the board. You came in search of a connection you were looking for named Jonesy, who you met, and you shared your information of what you recovered from the mage Marklin when y'all had your encounter. You showed her his journal and asked her about what he might have been looking for. She tells you that he'd been searching for a place that, according to her text and her research, used to be called Armory. She's not sure exactly what it is, but supposedly, back when Aor was flying, there was an area on the outskirts of the city that was dedicated to like research and development for a lot of different things, bioweapons, aerometronics, and other unknown things. But the rumor has it that like whatever they were working on was like cutting edge, different kinds of technologies that in preparation for the Great War that they were fighting. When Aor fell, it was during I want to say during the Calamity, when the gods were waging war on Exandria. So you got to think this flying city from the age of Arcanum that was very magical and very powerful were doing what they could to battle the gods and their armies and minions. We're talking demons and devils and orc hordes by the thousands. So you can imagine the different things they were working on. But anyway, you met with Jonesy, who was a little bit enamored by Dagus. That faded quickly once he started to speak. I believe she referred to Goldie as his manager. Kind of laughed it off. But she, excuse me, she had via her notes, hastily crafted a map with a location of what region she sent Marklin to, and you're familiar with it as it's very close to where you guys explored Sasvald at. So Crimson is now in possession of an unmarked but readable by you guys map to this location, this discovery, because by his journal, Marklin did indeed find what he was looking for. He was just unable to retrieve anything from it rather than okay.
It's just my screen.
The one thing that was retrieved was the monocle, the proof that this place exists, which Crimson is now in possession of. So that's pretty much where we're at. I'm trying to think if there's something I'm leaving out that I forgot.
We met the wheelchair-bound adventurer.
Yeah. That was something. Okay, back to the board. You realize the first couple things that happened is these people brought Horswell whatever they were able to retrieve from the rift for him to kind of inspect, give them a coin payout. And when the dwarf in the bar there with the wheelchair presented whatever he presented, Horswell made a big deal out of it to everyone in the room. He's like, these are the kinds of things that will pay you the most. Formulas, blueprints, things of their history, you know. And he made a big shebang about that. And you also noticed that it moved that dude up that board pretty high. Clink, clink, clink. Crimson later then followed up and offered up one of the antidotes to Frigid Woe, which Horswell also got excited about. Placing you guys on the board. Does anyone remember what number I told you guys were at?
I think you said like fourth.
Fourth or fifth or something like that, right? Yeah, it was an immediate bing, bing, bing. And you see them, they took Markland's name off of the board because he hadn't returned yet. And there's, like I said, there's a 1 through 10. The Jonesy girl is up there at like 3. There's a couple names ahead of her. One of them, I'll give you the names. I can't think of them right now. But as the board adjusted, you can see that it kind of started some grumblings amongst the patrons and the other adventurers. And you're soon to find out why. So after everybody's exchanged their findings and such, you see Horswell starting to pack stuff up. And he looks up to the man who's been just kind of observing the room. There's a man standing at the top rail, and he starts to come down the stairs. And he meets with Horswell at the bar. They exchange a couple of quiet words. And then you see Horswell. Come on, sucker. Horswell leaves with a couple of veteran soldiers walking out with him. And then this man here is Wardlow Akron. You guys have already been informed of this dude. He's who runs Bailing Post. And he announces loudly to the tap room. He says, being as in, we are now in the heart of winter setting in on the land. There will be more soldiers here in the barrack rather than out patrolling. Therefore, only top 5 of the board have rooming available to them should they wish to stay in the barrack. And when he says that, a whole lot of people start, what the grumbling amongst themselves, like they're pretty angry, like, oh, but basically from what you're gathering, from what you're hearing is if you were on the board, you could have sheltered. They have a place here in this barracks. This is just the front tap room. The small portion of this larger building. This is the only fortified looking position in the entire the camp, besides the tower that you passed on the way in. But basically 5 names, and a name can be a single person, or as your guy's name just says Feorians, could represent a group. So with the heart of winter setting in, the boss just told everyone, if you're not top 5, you don't get to room and board here. pitch a tent, and you can hear people like cry, like, "What the hell?" And you guys coming in at we'll say number 5. I don't remember what number I gave you, but we'll say you just made the cutoff. That there are room available.
Which is ironic because, you know, I keep hearing Goldie tell Daggis that he's pitching a tent.
Goldie telling Daggis what?
That he's
I be
constantly
pitching
pitching a
tents,
tent.
baby. I pitch tents all the time, baby.
Correct.
I think, yeah, that's a brilliant idea for camping. But in this case, I guess we're going to have a roof over our heads, so that's a win-win.
Man, don't got to sleep under the tent, do we?
Wardlow goes on to say if you find yourself in the cold, I suggest you work harder. He said, Sergeant Trio here will be taking supply requests now. To each of you, good luck and good hunting. And he also leaves with Whore as well. All right. I remember Josinia saying she had to go shortly after Goldie's attempt to pimp Daggis to her kind of became obvious to her. And then Daggis told us like he was married with kids and everything else, and like took everybody off guard. I don't remember that being part of your backstory.
Well, I don't like to talk about it much because it was very traumatic at the time.
But she does indeed
my point.
retire to her quarters because she still allowed them. So we'll just take these guys off the map because they're not in the party no more. All right, so that's the recap of last session. Go ahead and give me some perception checks.
Ooh, that's a 16 plus 1. I finally perceived some shit at a 17.
22.
18.
Okay. You guys noticed that, man, once Wardlow and the little gnome cut out of there, the temperature in the room changes a bit. You can see a couple people over at the bar trying to put in supply requests with that one veteran that's here. Another one kind of walks out. He's kind of perusing around. But you do notice that table of people that Crimson had intimidated, one of them starting to get kind of irate, bitching and pissing about being put out. And one of them was like, well, we can request a camp tent, or we can probably scrounge one up, a used one up if we have to. You start just by kind of overhearing what they're talking about. You know, like, this place is kind of hardcore, man. If you don't produce, you don't eat.
Oh, yummy.
Let me see. Where's our call?
So what's the KPIs? What's our metrics that we're measuring success here by?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, if we're going to be producing, how are we judged on our success? Like number of kills, the bigger the kills.
What you bring back?
Yeah.
This entire place, like I told you, is just like Serenlia. As Mordo Delwar, the werebear dwarf that Goldie has affectionately befriended, told y'all when y'all first landed on Owl Cross. That's what you do here. If you're not if you're not bringing anything back, you're not bagging gold.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, Balaam Post has the same purpose. They're about exploring the crash site, recovering stuff from Aor's past, relics, artifacts, whatever they can get their hands on. You saw them sell everything from just plain ancient Aorian robes. Fetched a bit of coin because you got to think all across the different continents, there are rich collectors that are enamored with what Aor used to be. Okay, it was literally a flying city full of magic and everything else. They crashed on this northern continent. So everybody on this land is here for pretty much one reason, to find what they can from this this once magical, magnificent city.
Who does Golden need to talk to about possibly obtaining a structure or building a structure in this fine established frontiers town?
Well, if you approach the sergeant that's taking equipment requests, he would tell you basically anything that gets built within the fort's walls has to be okay through Wardlow. Wardlow runs this entire place. He's in charge of everything from food to supplies, and any construction. He says now, the places that are up and about are, stuff to help the fort function. There's a smithy, there's a meat vendor, you know what I'm saying? There's different small trades, but mostly inside the walls, as you noticed when you came into the city, is there's tents everywhere.
I want to open an inn, a proper inn.
He says, well, your request can be put to Lord Wardlow.
You can't afford it.
Yeah, we are mercenaries, if you will, and we come across things. I can save my money up and build my building one small square step at a time, baby. Anything worth having is worth having. Do you know what I mean?
So Goldie's discussing building a proper inn or tavern. Crimson is talking like, what? You don't have any money to do this. So they're discussing this, and Dogus, you rolled pretty high on your perception too. You glance over to notice that Brooks had his hood up the entire time, kind of staying close to y'all, but you kind of glimpse under the hood as he turns in your direction a bit that his disguise is faded off.
Oh,
It's elapsed.
okay.
So he's no longer a 6'2" skinny barbarian sitting next to you, but it's actually Brug.
Uh-huh. And he and he's aware of that. I mean,
oh yeah, he's aware of that.
Okay.
You can kind of tell by the way that he's sitting, you know what I'm saying, with his cowl low and his face down, you know what I'm saying? He knows it's gone now.
Okay.
And he's trying to decide if he's going to recast it,
Mm-hmm.
or if our business here is done and we're ready to go. And he even asked Douglas that. We have location now, Douglas.
Yeah.
We go back to dogs. We go back to get dogs.
Yeah, I think that would be the best thing.
And as this conversation is going, one of these guys wanders over to the table.
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit. What'd you say?
I said, as he's talking to you, one of these guys, after getting a few beers in him, kind of comes over to the table. He says, y'all think you're so damn high and mighty with your fancy fur cloaks, your shiny, whatever the hell he is. He looks at Crimson. He says, how you feel knowing you're putting people in the streets? Highfalutin,
Intention, friend.
low-life scum. What's that?
Said it wasn't our intention, friend.
He said, I ain't your stinking friend.
Well, you certainly don't want to make enemies of us either. And I'll roll an intimidation check on that one.
All right.
18.
I don't know why people are so critical of my leather pants
15.
with mixed nuts. But
What, you roll a 15?
18.
18, okay.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks at you, and then he looks at Doggett. Then he looks down at Brug, and Brug kind of turns his head, but he does notice. He says, the enemy's he says, yeah, I don't want to be an enemy of, you know, a robot, and this one here plays with teddy bears, boys. He looks down and sees Fuzzy Bear hanging out of Brug's belt. He says, what kind of self-respected barbarian plays with teddy? And then his eyes get big because he notices. And he jumps back and shouts, it's a damn bloodbear in here. And these guys all jump up.
Really didn't want to have a bar fight tonight.
This guy walks.
I guess we will.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to go that way, but the veterans hear him shout, and it kind of gets their attention. Goldie, you're talking about getting a permit to build and such, and you were basically told, yeah, you're going to have to run the idea through Wardlow and show that you have the funds to complete a project like that. Blah blah. So he's explaining to you what you need to do if you want to build.
He's the one at the bar, right?
Yep, you're at the bar.
Okay,
And
so
then
I'm right. I got my token right.
When this guy shouts, there's a bloody bugbear in here. These guys all jump up. And they're already kind of pissed at y'all anyway because, like I said, they don't get to sleep here anymore. But with that being said, you can see the veterans on the stairs start to move over and like to inspect. Like, what? What's going on?
I'll stand and draw my glaive, and as I do, I'll draw it across my back so that it cuts me. Doing 2 damage to myself, but electrifying the glaive, and I'll make it quite noticeable. You really
So Crimson
don't wanna do this,
stands.
gentlemen. That'll be a 19 intimidation.
Oh, shit. Okay. Let's see. Carl was at the bar, and he turns. They're all watching intently. This one veteran walks over. And the other one starts to come in too. And at the sight of the veterans, these guys, they fall back because they see Crimson's glaive, you know, crackling and stuff, and they definitely intimidate them. But the veterans kind of walk over slower. They're like, one of them shouts to Brug, you. He said, be warned. He looks at Crimson with his glaive. He says, you're under Dwendalian law. He says, and acts of violence have repercussions. We might be far from the actual kingdom, but this is still the kingdom's. He says, and you, take your cowl off. Brooke is just sitting there with his face down. And this guy kind of moves close over here. He says, "You heard the man. You heard the sergeant. Remove your cuff." Brooke looks at Daggers and says, "Told you we should have left." And I'm going to try to stealthily cast Disguise Self again. What would that be, like a sleight of hand?
Does it have...
To try to...
What are the components for it?
I believe it's just somatic and verbal.
Yeah, so sleight of hand to make the motions without being obvious.
Okay. So that would be against their perception check.
Yeah.
Okay, 14. That's 1. Oh, fuck me. This one sees it. So Brug takes his cow back. And the veteran north of us at the table sees straight through his disguise. He saw him wiggling his fingers under the table. So as all these gentlemen behind him see the barbarian, the veteran does see a bugbear. And he draws his blade. He says, "Goblinkin aren't allowed," says, "Goblinkin are not friends of the kingdom. Take your weapons out, lay them on the table, then slowly." And then see if that gives everyone else a chance. He still sees a barbarian. He still sees a barbarian. Yep. The one that was talking shit says, "I told you the damn bugbear's in here." And now these guys are kind of feeling bolstered, not so intimidated. Because these guards are these vets. And even the vet that was dealing with you looks at you, Goldie, and says, "Excuse me, we have problems."
Oh, no.
Starts going down this thing.
Problem?
What do you all wish to do at this moment?
Oh. I'm going to jump up on the table right here. And cast Calm Emotions. And it's a 20-foot sphere.
Okay, hold on.
Right here. And a group of people, each humanoid, in a 20-foot radius, so a 20-foot radius on a center point. So I want to put that right here, and I'll get, hold on, 20 foot. I'll center that there. Boom. I'll get boom. 2, 3,
Center, like right there.
4, 5,
Is it 20 foot radius or 20 foot circumference?
6. It's 20-foot radius
Okay.
off a center point, and I want my center point to be
Right there?
right there. Yep, just so I get all them. Bam. That's gonna be my action. And as my as my bonus action, I'm gonna use unsettling words, and I'm gonna talk to the veteran and tell him, "Oh no, baby, there ain't no problems. He's with us, and we all friends and family around here." So he will have to take an extra D8. Oh, I rolled an 8. So 16 plus 8. So the DC for the veteran is a 24, and the rest of them have to roll a 16 or higher charisma save. Or yeah, charisma save. No, let me make sure. Hold on. Either charisma or constitution.
Well, the veteran definitely failed. One of these dudes.
It is
The one that was
a charisma save. Yes, sir.
the one that was talking shit to begin with passed.
Okay.
So did the one next to him. I guess it's his brother. They're feeling tougher than most. And he did not. So you can see the three on the outside there. Can we get like 1, 2, 3, 4 on them or something? That might help. Perfect. So 2 and 3. 2 turns to Goldie and tells you, "Shut the fuck up." And they start walking over here and they're like, come on, Clyde. And the veterans kind of calm down and he's down. And about that time, Carl peeps up and he's like, "Sergeant Cree." He says, the little one's got a good point. He's like, these men just hit the board as top earners in 5th spot. He said, "Are you sure you want to go messing with some of Wardlow's newest, finest treasure finders? That is not a good idea." And he kind of nods and he's like, the one veteran over here says, "I'm not so sure Wardlow would be happy knowing that there's a bugbear inside the barrack as well." He says, "Perhaps we'll go tell him and we'll let him sort it out." And he starts to walk and leave. And he walks out of the tavern. And you know that he said he was going to get Wardlow. Now these guys have kind of calmed down. One sits back down. And these two kind of sit down too. They move away from Goldie though. You see them kind of sit further away from Brugh though.
I want to start singing a song, and I want it to be like, stand by me, oh stand by me.
Make a performance check.
Heard with
Do
the
a little
13.
fascination.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's a 16 plus 13 is a 29.
Jeez. I'm not even going to roll. All right, man, you've got their attention. And these two, as huffy and as puppy as they are, start to calm down, and they're like, you can tell they still kind of want to scrap.
I tell them,
But
let me buy you a drink on us. You know, no hard feelings, fellas. You know, I like to keep people entertained around here. We like to build up, not beat down. Do you know what I'm saying? Unless. And Goldie walks back to the bar to get beers.
all right. Digging, the dwarf in the wheelchair tells you, it's like if you're in the tap room, it's or he says, "Sergeant Cree, I'm pouring beer." He says, "You know me, I ain't stealing, so don't mind me." And he rolls his ass back there and starts pouring beers. Douglas, in your mind, you hear a whisper. No matter what Wardlow decides, do not stay in the barrack. It's only meant to observe you.
Huh. All right. I'll make a mental note of that. And who am I next to at this moment? I'll tell Brooke what I heard in my mind.
Brooke stands up slowly, kind of showing his hands. He says, Brooke no like stay in building nowhere.
Well,
He says-
what other options do we have for housing? I mean, it's either it's either in the barracks or it's going out and setting up camp outside, right?
I mean, we got a big one. We can sleep outside.
Yeah. Aside from
Yeah,
the
I think
fact
I'd
that
rather-
we're all
I'd
wearing
rather
clothes
be-
to keep us warm to like -30. So
Right.
And we got that stone that keeps us at a positive 72.6 degrees.
Yeah.
So you guys do you want to wait for Goldie to get beers for everybody? Like,
Oh, no, I'll wait. They can go on without me. I know where they're at. This place ain't that big. I'm
okay,
gonna talk
hold
to
on.
the folks in the tavern here. I got the keys. I'll take the keys to the room though.
Ooh. Okay. So Crimson, Doggos, and Brug are heading outside.
yep.
All right. This guard is going to kind of give you a little bit of leeway because his emotions have been calmed. So Brug walks out. Boom. Crimson, you start to walk out the door. But just as you get into the doorway, boom, this little dwarf kind of shoulders into you. Says, pardon me. And then walks out. I need you to make a perception check. Sure.
24.
Okay, hold on. I gotta find his stat. Where is he at? There he is. Okay, hold on. Bing, bing. All right. When he bumps by you, you don't really feel anything. You just feel like he inconsequentially bumped you. And he walks past and out. But you did feel like it felt like someone brushed your coin purse.
Hmm.
So if you reach down and you pat, you realize you still have your coin purse is there. What do you wish to do now?
I'll open my coin purse.
You open your coin purse and everything seems to be where it was. You know, you check inside your pouch. You still have the map that Jonesy had given you, and then you kind of reach around and realize the journal's gone.
Huh. Well, I guess I'm going after that guy then.
Okay. Once you realize that, you kind of dart out the door behind Brug. Who's this? That's nobody. Let me get out of the way. Behind Brug, and you look left and right. Okay, Doug, you're gonna have to give me another perception check.
24.
24.
As I sniff
Oh.
the air. You know, letting those feral instincts come over me.
What does that do? Does that do anything mechanical wise?
No, it's
No.
just it's me describing how
Okay,
I'm
you're
perceiving,
just you're just smelling the air. And 18. Oh shit! He rolled a 30.
damn.
Oh wow.
You don't see him.
Okay.
He should be. He shouldn't be like just gone like he is, but yeah, like he was just seconds ago bumped into you.
Yeah.
Just long enough for you to be like, hold up, wait a minute, coins. Okay, I still got my map. Oh shit, the journal. So
24
within what's that?
survival
7
check to look
seconds.
for
I'm waiting.
footprints or
Wow.
anything like that.
Yeah, you don't see him. He's just like he just fucking walked out the door and I
Disappeared.
associate that shit.
No footprints, nothing.
Guys are fucking so safe.
You can look for footprints.
That's what I was saying. My survival check was at 24. To look for
Oh,
footprints.
okay. So you look down and yeah, you do. I mean, you got to think. There's lots of footprints that come in and out of this front door. There's where everybody just milled in and milled out of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you do see off to the left of the building, in the snow along the wall, some what looks like dwarf boots, and
Oh,
they seem to turn just around the corner of the building.
yeah, I'll follow him.
Dogus, what are you doing right now?
I'll be going with Crimson.
Okay.
Yeah.
You come out and you know, Crimson. You saw Crimson bump into this dwarf, and then take inventory for a second, and then run out real quick, like he's looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
Brug is already kind of in the center of the city, walking back towards the gate, trying not to get into any shit. But you see, actually, Brug sees Crimson too now. Just start running down the front of the building. Crimson, when you get to the very corner of the building, those foot tracks go for about 3 or 4 feet. And then there are no more footprints. They're completely gone.
I look up. Like, is there a way to climb the building?
I mean, there's always a way to climb a building. If you don't see anything obvious. I mean, it's wooden. The main part of the barracks is stone, which is the larger part of this. The tap room section of the building that you're looking at is mostly wood.
Okay.
But for all intents and purposes, you don't see anything. It's like he ran around the corner and just vanished.
I'm gonna climb the side of the building.
Goldie, what are you doing?
Well, great Daddy.
John, what'd you say?
Oh, I thought JD was saying something.
Yeah, no.
Can you hear me?
I got a 19 athletics to climb the building.
Okay, so you start to climb the side of the building.
Yeah, I'll stay on the ground. I'm not. I guess I'll.
Okay, Brooke's
stay
trying
on
to
the
figure
base.
out.
Like,
Brooke's trying to figure out what's going on. He's come over there with Dogus. I guess you guys are over here by now. Crimson's over here. He climbs the building. You get a perch at the edge of the roof there. And you hear from one of the watchtowers. Hey, what are you doing up there?
I'll yell back, looking for a thief.
So the only thing we seeing is you on our barracks. Get down before we haul you down. There you go. Well, I guess that would be made of stone.
So I'm like,
Yeah, that's about where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right up there, and the dude's up on the tower calls down at you. It's like, what the fuck are you doing up there? Get off.
Inside chilling.
Brug yells up to you too, Crimson. He says, Crimson, this place is going to be problems for Brug.